Coaches that coach coaches that coach coaches that coach coaches that coach coaches. That is the funny world of the online business game, but there seem to be so many people who coach coaches. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why the whole online coaching coaches world actually makes sense. I'm a normal person. I still think it's weird to say that I coach coaches, but it makes complete sense. And I'm going to explain exactly why the whole model makes sense. And if you're a coach watching this right now, why it makes sense for you to get a coach. I'm biased. I coach coaches myself, and I've coached coaches to get unbelievable results. But in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why it makes sense for you to get a coach if you're a coach, and exactly why the whole online business makes sense. Basically, this is a video justifying my existence, but more importantly, it's a video explaining to you exactly if you're on the fence about whether you should get a coach, why it is the best thing that I have done, the best thing that you can do, and why this whole online world actually exists of coaching coaches. Let's get into it. So the coaching coaches world is basically split into different levels. And on this first level, we have civilians. We have people who are just going about their everyday life. They don't have a business of themselves, but the key characteristic of all these people is they have problems. Everyone has problems. These little stick men exist and they have problems going around their lives. They could be they need to lose weight. They could be that they want to improve their lifting. It could be that they want to improve their ability to knit. It could be anything that they have problems with. And then what happens is on the second level, we have coaches. And I think this makes quite a lot of sense. These coaches coach the civilians to improve their dream outcome. So these coaches are like your PTs, your nutritionists, your eating, anyone who coaches anyone basically, right? I think that makes quite a lot of sense, right? Like everyone knows that PTs exist. It's kind of the easiest way to describe it. But then we get into the online pyramid, which some people like to call a scam, but realistically makes a lot of sense. This is where I'm gonna start explaining exactly why this works. Is because your favorite creators, you'll see, is they are coaches that coach. And the thing is about these coaches is this might be you right now. You are up doing, you're helping your civilians, you're doing a great job, you're helping them lose weight. But the thing is, you're so busy working on your business or in your business that you can never work on your business. You don't know about certain things you should be doing to be able to improve how you get as many of these as possible, because you're too busy dealing with your clients, dealing with their concerns, dealing with these civilians, that you need more support in order to be able to lead acquisition, to create content, to manage your service delivery. You need support, right? So these are why these coaches of coaches exist, because what these coaches need, if you're a PT, then you want to have consistent clients coming in all the time. And if you don't, then what do? You go and you get someone to help you to improve the consistent client inflow. And that is what the coaches of coaches do. And this is what I do, is I basically work with coaches who are doing an amazing job with these civilians. But what they're doing is they are so in the business, they can never work on the business. And what I have is I teach the coaches below me the systems that I use for client acquisition that I know work, to be able to then get more of these. And that's what these coaches want, right? That's what these coaches want. They want more systems to acquire more of these. And let me explain a bit more about that, because you might just say, okay, that makes sense. They can do systems. Why can't they do it themselves? Well, the problem is that these coaches spend half their time, or maybe more than half the time. Right now, you probably spend a lot of your time, if you're a coach, working with all these people. But these coaches of coaches, what they do and what I do is I spend my whole life testing systems. So I have maybe 5 acquisition systems that I'm testing at one time. And all of those acquisition systems, you can't even see that on there. There we go, acquisition systems. I am testing 5 acquisition systems at one time to basically be able to then say to the coaches, this is how you get clients. So if you're watching this right now, you're thinking, why would I work with a coach that coaches coaches? Is because all I do every day is I wake up and I think, what system can I test today? What system am I going to test? And I can even, I'm happy to share some of the systems that we're testing right now. So we're testing a full AI generated lead flow. So basically where the whole of the inbound leads is AI generated. We're also testing, but this is the system that I know works best, which is a trust ecosystem. Then we have another system, which is basically a VSL system. Then we're testing an ad system, and then we're testing a YouTube to VSL system. So these are like the 5 systems that we're testing. And at any one time, I'm testing at least 5, but more likely I'm testing I'm adding one again today. We're testing all these different systems. And the idea is basically that I test all these systems and fail and succeed in the certain systems. And then what I can do is I can say, okay, so with, let's pick one. For the trust building ecosystem, I can say to my coaches that I coach, well, what I do with this system is you need to do this, you need to do this, and you need to do this. And those are the 3 things you need to do. For this one, it's build long form assets, build short form assets, build ways for people to raise their hands, and that is the whole system. And that system has generated me 109K in revenue, literally just this one system. So then I say to my coaches that I coach, okay, let's implement the trust ecosystem within you. And that allows them to then say, okay, that's how I'm going to get more civilians, because I've tried and tested the system and I shortcut the whole thing, because it's not revolutionary to use these systems. You've probably heard of some of these systems, right? But the difference is I show the coaches that I work with the exact step-by-step process of how to create it, so they don't make mistakes, so that they don't waste time, so that they just know easily how to implement it. And that's why we get such amazing client results, because of the fact that you join my program and I just say, do this, do this, do this. We have a very clear roadmap, and you do this, do this, do this. And then within 2 days, you have your ecosystem built and you just start acquiring clients. And if you were a PT, or if you are a PT, or if you are a nutritionist, or if you are anyone who has a skill that they're trying to teach people, then you could going through all these systems, but you would be making all of the mistakes that I make for you. So you'd be making all these mistakes, you'd be banging your head against the wall. And that's why coaches get coaches, because coaches that get coaches then end up basically saving all that time. So that's the reason that I exist. Like, that's the reason, maybe I'm justifying my existence, but that's the reason why people continuously join my program, people continuously invest in themselves, because they know that I have proven systems. So realistically, I am a coach, but I just see myself as a system implementer as opposed to a coach. Maybe justifying my existence, but at the same time, this is the way that I believe works. And I guess, we've done 113K in about 115 days roughly since launching the offer. And yeah, it's not bad, right? So that's the reason that I think it works. And I want to just quickly, before you go, I want to just explain this system, because sometimes now I am coaching coaches that coach coaches. So I am now working with a few coaches who are in here, who have these systems, and I'm actually coaching them. And that reason that exists for the exact same reason that this exists is because these coaches have these acquisition systems, and they might say, so Soham, someone I'm working with, he's a killer at content. He knows how to get his coaches to acquire clients using content. He's an absolute killer at content. But what I'm doing is I'm teaching him more about other systems and how to then sell them onto his coaches. So I'm basically helping a coach who coaches coaches basically implement different systems and then how to sell them. So, because you're not perfect at everything, right? And I love this saying, even Olympians need coaches, because no matter how good of a coach you are, or a coach who coaches coaches, you are someone who is not perfect, and you need other systems in your business. And that's why this even exists. And you could keep going up, because I know some absolute killers who are killer coaches, who coach coaches, who are killer coaches who coach coaches that coach coaches. who still have coaches, because you can never be good enough, because Olympians still have coaches. And that is the justification of my existence. That is exactly why, if you're a coach, I believe it's so important to invest in a coach, and I will always be investing in coaches, because of the fact that you get these systems, you get them easily presented, delivered to you, you get them like the feedback of if they're not working, and you get accountability at the same time. Thanks for watching.